Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you with another live show. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, the 5th day of June, 2013. Welcome aboard. Hey, give me a call, why don't you? Let me do my very best at taking a stab at your health questions. I bring 24 years of clinical experience to bear on what I advise people to do to support and promote the structure and function of their human body and to optimize its performance from the inside out. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Well, there is a God. Finally, the word is starting to percolate, maybe, or I don't know, maybe it was the weather. News is straight off of USA Today at Dallas. The Susan G. Komen for the Cure is canceling half of its 3-day charity races next year because of a drop in participation levels. Hallelujah, and pass the hat. The word is finally starting to spread that the MDs are absolutely horrible at treating cancer. While the MDs, while we've given them $600 billion with a B, $600 billion, that's $500 billion plus $100 billion. Do you know how much $1 billion is? It's a lot. It's 1,000 million. $1,000 million is $1 billion. We gave them 600 of those piles. And you know how closer to a cure for cancer we are? Not any closer. Cancer statistics have remained completely unchanged. It is so bad, cancer is so bad, the cancer treatment outcomes are so bad that the American Cancer Society completely moved the goalposts years ago. Now they don't even talk about a cure, they talk about a 5-year survival time, but they don't tell patients that. They don't tell patients that, oh, the statistics are based on a 5-year survival time. They just tell patients, oh, this treatment is 50% successful. The patient hears is 50% of the women or men who get this treatment are cured, when in reality, what they're meaning is 50% of the people who get this treatment are still alive 5 years from now, but then they die eventually from cancer. And in the meantime, the treatments have created an unbelievable quagmire in the quality of their lives. Personalities change. My mother died not of ovarian cancer, but of chemotherapy. My mother, God rest her soul, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, I think 10 years ago, more or less, how time flies. And she was one of the nicest, most optimistic, friendly, loving, fun women you'll ever want to meet. She was awesome. My mother was awesome. God rest her soul. Chemotherapy completely altered her personality. I mean, it altered it. I didn't know who my mother was anymore, and neither did anybody else. You could still see a little bit of her in there because it couldn't collapse her soul. But for goodness sake, it collapsed everything else and made the last 2 years of her life an unbelievable hell. Costing, you know, I don't even want to know how much it costs because that would just make me furious. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go there. There's some things I needn't not know. But the fact of the matter is, it's like this for everybody. Chemotherapy doesn't work. Conventional medical treatments for chronic diseases don't work. This is why autism is getting worse. It's why Alzheimer's is getting worse. It's why our life expectancies are getting shorter. It's why arthritis rates continue to climb, especially in Canada. I mean, 50% of the Canadian population, 50%, that's like 17 million people have arthritis. You know, the MDs are clueless about how to cure it. They can't even cure heartburn, but they can manage it. We talked about that on yesterday's show. And I got my statistics wrong. I was reading statistics from 2008. The largest selling drug in the United States is Nexium. Nexium. Crestor, which is a cholesterol-lowering drug, is third. The second largest selling drug is an anti-schizophrenic. I forget the name. I'll think of it in a minute. But Nexium, a heartburn medicine, is the largest selling medicine in the United States. And people buy more heartburn medicine than any other type of medicine. Now, does heartburn medicine cure heartburn? No. It manages it. And it manages it poorly. And into the bargain, what heartburn medicine does is it completely eliminates your body's ability to produce any stomach acid. When you take a proton pump inhibitor, your stomach acid dries up 100%. And when your stomach acid is dried up 100%, how do you think your body's ability to digest food is going to be? Is it going to be good? No, it's going to be horrible. Your body won't be able to digest very many things out of food without proper stomach acid. It will be able to digest a couple of calories out of it because there's still going to be some bile, there's still going to be some pancreatic acid squirted into the digestive tract further on downstream. But when you remove the stomach acid, which is the lion's share of the digestive process in the human body, when you remove that, what you end up with is massively accelerated nutrient deficiencies. Now, number one, there isn't enough nutrition in the food anyway. Number two, when you eliminate stomach acid from the dominoes of digestive influence, you can't digest anything out of your food except a handful of calories, so this accelerates nutrient deficiencies. And since nutrient deficiencies are the root cause of all chronic disease, the more proton pump inhibitors and antacids that people take, the more chronic disease is going to be widespread, and that's exactly what's happened. And then into the bargain, when you throw pharmaceutical drugs into the mix to try to fix the problem, you're just going to complicate things and get all kinds of side effects, which is why medical care in the free world is so unbelievably expensive, because it doesn't work. And not only does it not work, but it complicates things into the process. It makes things work. It adds work for the doctor. It adds work for the hospital. It adds work for the nurse. The drugs don't work. They make things worse. Of course, with the exception of trauma care, right? I mean, you have your leg blown off in Iraq. Thank God for morphine. Thank God for the sterile technique. Thank God for microsurgery, which is awesome. But for chronic disease, bringing your body to a medical doctor is a fool's errand. And, you know, the Susan G. Komen Society, which is basically a front for the pharmaceutical industry. By the way, let's just hypothesize, okay, that the Susan G. Komen women, they run in Chicago and they raise $5 million for breast cancer. And they give that $5 million. Who do they give it to? They give it to the American Cancer Society. Who do they give it to? They give it to the drug companies to do research. Now, let's say a drug company came up with a drug that reduced the occurrence of breast cancer by 10%. 10%. That would be a huge breakthrough in the world of medicine, right? Cancer reduction by 10%, it would be a giant best-selling overnight sensation drug. How many of the women, or how much of the American Cancer Society, are they going to get a cut? Are they going to get a piece of the action? Are they going to get a piece of the revenues generated from the sale of those drugs? No. I mean, why would you do that? Because you've put your trust in the wrong system of medicine. You've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. You didn't know any better. That's the only reason that this type of nonsense persists. And by the way, reducing the occurrence of breast cancer by 10% would be revolutionary, right? Well, hold on to your hats. Selenium supplementation, selenium being a mineral, it's cheaper than dirt because it's made from dirt, reduces the occurrence of breast cancer by 82%. 82%. Now, why aren't the Susan G. Komen women marching for that? Is that a pretty good number, 82%? You know what that means? That means if every girl in the United States, if every girl in Trinidad, if every girl in Canada, if every girl in Australia, if every girl in Ireland, Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, Africa, took one 200 microgram capsule of selenium a day in one generation, we'd eliminate the occurrence of breast cancer by 82%. Is that not worthwhile? Why don't you know this? Why doesn't your child know this? Why isn't this taught in school? And why did Dr. Wallach have to sue the Food and Drug Administration so that we could say this legally? I'll tell you why. Because it's a for-profit, runaway, monopolistic train of medicine in the U.S. The medical industry does not have your best interests in mind. It is a for-profit runaway train. If it was humanitarian, if it was medical, if it was science-based, a legitimate organization trying to end human suffering since 1998, it would have been mandatory in the United States to take selenium. They would put it in the food, just like they put iodine and salt. And by the way, not only does it reduce breast cancer by 82%, it reduces lung cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer. Remarkable degrees. 60, 70, ridiculous amounts. One simple essential nutrient, selenium. That's just one of the 90 essential nutrients we recommend Imagine what the other 89 do. Are you starting to get the picture? Science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition is the wave of the present that will parlay into an unstoppable future force. Get on the train now. Join us at Longevity. Join Team Glidden, and my team members and myself will hold your hand, and we will teach you, number one, how to recover your own health, and number two, how to make money, lots of it, by helping your friends and family members and church members and perfect total strangers recover their own health. Why? Because we need to. Because we're suffering needlessly from lack of knowledge. One of my favorite sayings. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. We're up against it, ladies and gentlemen. We're up against it hard. And we have the fix. We know what to do. $25 million of federally funded research, 30-plus years of clinical experience by Dr. Wallach, 24-plus years of clinical experience by me, and all of our colleagues combined. We bring hundreds of years of science-based, clinically verified, holistic health treatment knowledge to the table here. This is not a super juice company. This is not a company that sells toilet paper to your neighbors. This is a company that's attempting to change the way that medicine is practiced in the free world by getting people so healthy that they can safely, effectively, and efficiently stop taking all of their prescription medications, recover their health with medical nutrition, and optimize their genetic potential of 125 years of age while adding hundreds of thousands of dollars over time to their bank accounts. And ladies and gentlemen, that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Check the website out. You know the name, fireyourmdnow.com. Fireyourmdnow.com. Lines are open here, 866-582-9933. Give me a call, 866-582-9933. Na 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 na. 855-347-3696. That's the number to call for the podcast if you want information about the health opportunity, the wealth opportunity, how to get the products that we talk so highly about at the wholesale price. 855-347-3696. Also for information about the health opportunity here and the wealth opportunity, that's the number to call. 855-347-3696. The studio line, 866-582-9933. Of course, toll free, 866-582-9933. I love the fact that this is an international radio show going back to Germany with our good friend Gottfried. Hey, Gottfried, welcome back. How is it going? Achtung, baby.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. I've been taking these products almost getting to 2 months now.
Good.
And my blood sugar have been alternating, especially in the mornings. And secondly, can I take the rainforest before food on empty stomach?
Well, the herbal rainforest is meant as a cleanse. I don't recommend that you do the herbal rainforest as a part of a normal program. I recommend that you do the herbal rainforest as part of, a 5, 6, or 7 day cleanse. If you add the herbal rainforest into the bargain as just a normal part of your daily supplement plan, you will become dependent on the herbs in the herbal rainforest in order to have a bowel movement. So really there's 2 ways to use the herbal rainforest. You can use it as part of a cleanse, like you're doing some type of a fast or some type of a cleansing program, a kidney cleanse, a liver cleanse, a bowel cleanse, whatever, for a protracted period of time, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever. Or if you want to use it every day, then don't use it for more than 3 weeks. Don't use it for more than 3 weeks. And I would take the herbal rainforest between breakfast and lunch. I would take 1 ounce of the herbal rainforest per 100 pounds of body weight between breakfast and lunch once a day. That's how I would do it, and get ready to have a big bowel movement about 2-3 hours after you do that. And that's kind of the best way to do that, okay? Now, what's going on with your blood sugars, man? How long have you been type 2 diabetic?
Since 1997.
Okay, and you measure your blood sugars on a regular basis, right?
That's right, 3 times a day.
Okay, so, well, first of all, before we start talking about, analytical numbers, right, how do you feel since being on this program? Do you feel any different? Is there any noticeable, perceptible change anywhere in your life?
Yeah, I feel very good, and I usually take 4 insulin, but I curtail the night one, so I'm on 3 instead of 4.
Okay, so you cut down by 1 unit of insulin at night.
That's right.
Wow, all right, that's very, very good. Okay, so there's only one other thing that you can do, Gottfried. The hard news here, the hard work, it's not bad news, so I don't want to say bad news because it's not, but the news here is that healing the body is quite a different proposition than suppressing symptoms with drugs, which is what everybody's used to, right? I mean, we're all used to taking the aspirin, and then 30 minutes later, the headache's gone, right? Taking the Tylenol, and 15 minutes later, the muscle aches are gone, right? Taking the Advil, and 10 minutes later, the knee pain is gone, but then it comes back. What we're up to here is healing the body, and I'll tell you a little insider hint here, a little insider information, Gottfried. The old-time naturopaths and the holistic physicians of many different disciplines would always say that as a ballpark figure, it takes the body approximately 1 month for every year that you've had the problem to get on the other side of the problem once you've engaged a holistic therapeutic, right? So if you've had blood sugar issues for 20 years, it's going to take you 20 months to get on the other side of it. Now, does that mean nothing's going to happen for 19 months and then all of a sudden you're going to wake up and your blood sugar is going to be normal? No. It's going to be a roller coaster, right? You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But we're into this for the long haul, and every month, every 4 weeks, if you're doing this program appropriately, there should be improvement in your blood sugars or something. There should be, well, specifically your blood sugars in this case. So just maintain the discipline, man. The only other thing that you could do to beef it up here would be to just eliminate anything sweet. I mean, no fruit juice, no dried fruit, no honey, no agave, no maple syrup, no molasses, no alcohol. No, nothing. You could have, a glycemic index friendly foods like xylitol or stevia or sorbitol. But if you really want to take this to the next level, be 100% sugar-free for 4 weeks and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden remembering to remind you that only you can prevent allopathic reductionism. Visit fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my free newsletter. Sign up for the online health recovery program. Get a copy of my book. It's $9.99 as an ebook. $9.99. The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. If you know anybody in your life that has cancer, you gotta get the book because eventually you're going to know someone that has cancer. Have them read the chapter on cancer and ask their oncologist the 10 questions in my chapter on cancer. And if they do that, we can possibly alter the way that cancer is treated in the country, in the world, because people will just start refusing cancer treatments because they don't work. But nobody is holding the MD's feet to the fire except yours truly. Going right back to Germany again. Hey, Gottfried, something else on your mind? Thanks for sticking around.
That's right. The problem is I have 2 friends who preparing to get a baby, and the lady want to get pregnant and get a baby. What product do you think this guy need?
Okay, well, again, thank God for Dr. Wallach, because his research uncovered the startling fact that the majority, if not all, of birth defects are caused by nutrient deficiencies. The most famous, of course, of this is cystic fibrosis. Wallach proved that cystic fibrosis, number one, could happen across species lines. It wasn't just a humans only disease. It could happen in monkeys. It can probably happen in any animal, quite frankly. And he also proved that cystic fibrosis was caused not by a bad gene, but because of a defect in a chromosome. It was damage to a chromosome. Now, the architecture of our genetic material is very interesting. It's kind of like a ladder that's twisted, right? It's a double helix. It twists and spirals on itself. very much looks like the solar system. When you look at the solar system and calculate into the mix the fact that the sun is moving through the universe, the planets spiral behind the sun in this beautiful double helix. It's actually a 9 times helix. It's not just 2 strands, it's 9 strands. But it resembles human DNA. It's quite a remarkable thing, quite frankly. There's lots of spiraling things happening in nature, but I'm digressing. The human genome, chromosomal material, which is what your genes are made from, looks like a ladder that's been twisted. And the rungs of the ladder are kept together by mineral fingers, right? And by the way, DNA is shorthand for deoxyribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid. You know what ribo means? Ribose, sugar. Chromosomes are made from sugar. I bet you didn't know that. How about that? Next time someone tells you sugar is bad for you, tell them you don't know what the heck they're talking about, because all of your chromosomes are made from sugar. It's remarkable, quite frankly. How about that? I bet half of the listening audience's head just exploded. Deoxyribonucleic acid, it's a sugar. Your chromosomal material is sugar-based. But again, I digress. When your body is minerally deficient, the rungs on the chromosomes can start to bend and twist and break. And this is not... geneticists have misinterpreted this as a gene. It's a gene region, right? Well, no, it's not. It's damage to a chromosome. It's not a gene. It's not something that can be transmitted. It's a damage to a chromosome caused by lack of nutrition. But because medical doctors have no training, no experience, no respect, and no appreciation for medical nutrition, they miss the stuff that's right in front of their faces, and we suffer and die because of it. This whole thing about the BRCA gene that Angelina Jolie just so heroically gave her breasts to medicine so that she preventively could eliminate the chances of her getting breast cancer. Too bad she didn't talk to me or Dr. Wallach, because we would have told her that the BRCA gene is not a gene, that it's a mutated chromosome caused by lack, probably, of selenium. Now, we don't know specifically whether it's selenium or not, but we're pretty sure it's the same, in the same family of trouble as cystic fibrosis, and it's damage to the chromosome, which can be fixed with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. So what the heck? I mean, we are a bus of fools, man, a ship of fools. Everybody has got it wrong, and everybody parades off the cliff like the lemmings, following their brothers and sisters and compatriots right off the cliff because of lack of knowledge. So, again, this is a long-winded explanation, Gottfried, and I appreciate your patience. But in order to optimize the health of the newborn baby, we need to optimize the mother's nutrition. Because, right, the mother needs all the nutrition that she needs to keep her body happy, and then she needs extra nutrition to keep the baby's body happy. If the mother and the baby are completely nutrified, starting at conception, all the way through birth, and then all the way through the child's life, that child will be Superman or Superwoman. And there's only a handful of kids in Longevity Nation that have done that, because there's only a handful of people that were with Dr. Wallach 17 years ago when he started this. And all of the kids who've been doing longevity from day one, they're superstars. I mean, they're top of their class. They're advanced in athletics. They're advanced in mathematics. They're advanced in academics. They're taking college classes when they're in high school. You know, they're the field hockey champions. They're the ice hockey champions. They've got it dialed in. Why? Because their brain and their bodies have had all the raw materials they needed to grow their entire life. So really, in order to support and promote a healthy pregnancy, the recommendation is just fundamentals. One healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. And you can up the ante with that every couple of weeks as the body weight changes. As the body weight changes, you take a little bit more. And you can't take too much. It's impossible to overdose on this stuff. It's not going to hurt the child. Don't worry about that. Just dial in the dosages appropriate for body weight, and life is going to be good. And the last thing that I'm going to give you another little piece of insider information here. For nausea, of pregnancy, for nausea of pregnancy, one secret solution is to get an essential oil of ginger. Ginger, essential oil. And every time the pregnant woman is nauseous, put a couple of drops in the belly button. A couple of drops in the belly button works like magic to really knock down the nausea and the vomiting due to pregnancy. Try it. She's going to love how she feels. Going to have a really healthy baby. And oh, by the way, I think Dr. Glidden is a really good name for a newborn, don't you?
Hello?
Yeah, still here.
Can a bone be regenerated? My wife's backbone was cut during a surgery, and now she's suffering a lot of inflammation. Can that be readjusted by the nutrition?
Well, the human body, as far as the skeleton is concerned, there are two types of cells which are engaged 24/7 in chewing up old bone and laying down new bone. It's called osteoclasts and osteoblasts, and the drug companies take advantage of these two mechanisms. But instead of stimulating the mechanism that lays down new bone, which you would think would be the thing to do, they stimulate the mechanism that chews up old bone. Actually, they downregulate it. So the bisphosphonate osteoporosis drugs put the part of the human metabolism which chews up old bone to sleep. So guess what? Old bone accumulates in your bone density looks better, but 5 years later your bones start to snap like dry tinder. And this is the latest round of class action lawsuits now against Boniva and Fosamax. It's called spontaneous leg fracture as a direct result of overuse or prescribed use of the drug. It's a nasty side effect. Why? Because the drug didn't fix the freaking problem in the first place. And women all over the world took it because they trusted their MDs when, in fact, they should have fired their MDs. It's a tragedy of biblical proportion. So, yes, the human body has a process through which it is chewing up old bone and laying down new bone all of the time. Now, because of the surgery wild card, it's impossible for you or me or anybody else to know the extent of the damage of the surgical procedure and whether or not it's gone beyond the body's ability to fix it. I don't know. She doesn't know. Her doctor doesn't definitely know. You should sue him. But what are we going to do? Well, she needs the 90 essential nutrients anyway. Right, everybody does. She needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods anyway. So into the bargain here, it would be wise to up the ante with bone nutrients. Keep your fingers crossed. So the recommendation there, especially if she's in pain, would be one healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and one extra bottle of calcium a month, one extra bottle of liquid calcium a month. That's a really good program. The healthy bone and joint pack and selenium appropriate for body weight, and an extra liquid calcium, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Give it a try, man. She needs the 90 essentials anyway, and we might just get lucky and be able to reverse what the surgeon generated. And I don't know what the laws are like over there in Germany, but get a lawyer, man, and sue him. That's my advice. Hey, Gottfried, I got to move along, man. Thank you so much for the call. Call me anytime. Keep up the good work there in Germany, man. You are the last best hope the entire German country has to live long, healthy, and wealthy lives. I want you to grow a gigantic longevity grassroots coalition over there across the pond. Thanks so much for the call. Going to Milwaukee next. Talk to Kathy about headaches. Hey, Kathy, thanks for calling. You are live.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Okay, well, I'm calling because over the years when I take supplements, I wake up the next day with a bad headache.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It keeps me from taking them. So I have started the longevity program. I take the Osteo FX, the EFA Plus, the EFA, the selenium, and then the Ultimate Classic. I don't take what I should. I'm like taking like a quarter teaspoon, trying to, I don't know if I have an allergy to something, because this is not something new about waking up with these headaches the next day. So I'm trying to figure out, what I can do or what's causing it. Do I have an allergy? to one of these, is it a vitamin, which I suspect, because vitamin A alone never used to bother me. C alone never bothered me. What's another one? E alone never bothered me. It's usually when I take a multivitamin. Is there something that's causing these terrible withdrawal? They almost like withdrawal headaches.
Does anything else in your life give you headaches?
Well, when I was working, a lot of stress, but I'm retired now, so. Well,
I mean, but like coffee or turkey or, vodka, or does anything give you a headache the way that nutritional supplements do?
Occasionally, too much beer or wine or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Not turkey, except the headaches I'd get if I was eating deli food.
Oh, all right. Okay,
I don't eat deli food, and I don't eat processed cakes or anything like, birthday cakes like at work, because I get a headache from those things, too.
All right, so my advice is going to be not what you think it is. I'm going to tell you to visit a chiropractor. I'm going to tell you to find a good chiropractor. I think there's a structural anomaly in your neck or your head which is generating these headaches because of an increased circulation response as a result of the vitamins. I think the vitamins are promoting optimal circulation in your body, but there's a roadblock structurally in your head or your neck somewhere, and that's causing a headache. I bet you that, there's a good chiropractor can fix this in 3 or 4 or 5 visits. So that would be my advice to you. Find a really good chiropractor. See if you can find one who knows a particular technique called cranial sacral. Cranial, C-R-A-N-I-A-L, sacral technique. Have them give your head an adjustment and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. Hey, everybody. Everything connects in the holistic way of looking at the world, and that is really the only sane way of looking at the world. The MDs are the only ones that look at the world reductionistically. And all the pharmaceutical research that's done is done through reductionistic lenses, which is why it fails and fails and fails and fails and fails. And how they can continue to rake in as much money as they do, generating therapeutics that fail to deliver results, is a testament to how stupid and brainwashed most people in the world are. And myself included. I'm not going to cast a stone at someone else until I've cast one at me, or however the metaphor goes. But I was in the same boat. I've jumped into the light. I recommend you do the same, just like Pedro from California did. Hey, Pedro, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Peter Glidden.
What's going on, Pedro?
Well, I have a question. It's more cosmetic. I have an uncle who wants something for his gray hair.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell him to start voting Republican. And if he votes Republican, his hair will turn black.
Oh, really?
I'm only kidding, Pedro. You could try voting Democratic. You could try voting Republican. It's not really going to make any difference. But gray hair is caused by a deficiency in the body's ability to produce a particular pigment. And the pigment necessary needs 2 things. It needs the amino acid tyrosine, Tyrosine, and the mineral copper. Your body needs copper and tyrosine and a number of other things, but mostly copper and tyrosine in order to make pigment, which in this case will keep your hair or your skin the appropriate color. So anybody that has gray hair or white hair has chronic copper and or tyrosine deficiencies. And the longevity supplement that has copper in it is selenium, the ultimate selenium. You have to be careful when you're starting to talk about single nutrients, like copper, we talk about copper, or we talk about vitamin C, right? Or we talk about calcium. This is all inside of the greater picture of the holistic method, because we don't do fractionated nutrition like the MDs. The MDs are perfect. They have perfected fractionated nutrition, Linus Pauling being the worst offender, giving massive amounts of vitamin C. Well, when you give massive amounts of vitamin C, guess what happens? You leach copper out of your body. If you give too much selenium, you leach copper out of your body. You give too much magnesium, you leach calcium out of the body. There needs to be a balance. Again, thank God for Dr. Wallach, Longevity's selenium supplement. has a perfect balance of copper to selenium in it. So the recommendation here to help support and promote pigment, a healthy pigment, would be 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of HGH Youth Complex per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And the HGH Youth Complex is stacked amino acids, one of the amino acids there being tyrosine. And again, it's important when we're talking about amino acids, which are essential nutrients, to not upset the apple cart just by delivering to the body tons of tyrosine, because, you know, you'll upset the apple cart if you do that. So the Healthy Start Pack, selenium, and HGH appropriate to body weight, plus eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and the other 6 bad foods. That's a really good recipe for getting the hair color back. Sound like a plan, Pedro?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Peter Glidden.
Pedro, vote for Pedro, ladies and gentlemen. Go to California and vote for Pedro, one of our favorite callers. Keep up the good work, Pedro. We're expecting big things from you out there. We're coming up against a break here, ladies and gentlemen. And at the top of the hour, I'm going to talk a little bit about allergies. And we have a webinar tomorrow night that discusses allergies in depth. And then we're going to talk to Forrest from Orange County, California, about a success story regarding kidney stones. How about that? So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD. Check out the website of the same name. Why don't you? FireYourMDNow.com. FireYourMDNow.com. I'll see you at 6 minutes after the hour. Stick around.